When I think of Papa, I think of someone who's completely unbending in his ideas of what's right and wrong, not willing to compromise. He was a Kohen, so I suppose he had that gene directly from Pinchas HaKohen. I am going to do what's right, and what's right is what I'm going to do. He was tough. He was a tough man. He had a tough life, but he was a tough man. I was the recipient of the other side of him. I saw his toughness sometimes towards my mother, certainly towards my father, towards my brothers. But me, for some reason, he decided to like me. He was always good to me, was always kind to me. That doesn't mean he didn't yell at me and call me a topso, which he did. Topso meaning you always spill everything all over yourself. He made up a word for me called shmaitafuna. Don't ask me what that meant, but it wasn't positive, except that he said it with a smile. So I guess it couldn't have been too terrible. But I was the shmaitafuna. If I needed help, he was the person that I could go to for help. If I needed a ride, never a problem, always with pleasure. We started out, the two of us being on great terms, him giving me much more than I gave him. But life is funny. In the end, or towards the end, I gave him a very precious gift. I gave him Leslie. They were two peas in a pod. Each one was a kanoi. Each one was, this is the way to do it and there's no deviation. So they understood each other. I used to say more than once, Papa, I'm your granddaughter. Why are you always siding with him? It was a joke, but it really wasn't. I really meant it, Papa. I'm the granddaughter. But it was okay. I loved him to distraction. I took a couple of chances with him. Because I loved him so much, I was actually silly. After he had his heart attack, he was not permitted to have salt. Now, Mama didn't understand half measures. You tell Mama no salt, that means his chicken was soaked from the morning to the night. You would walk into the kitchen and there would be this disgusting piece of chicken soaking in water. And he ate it. And he ate whatever she gave him. But it couldn't have been much fun because it had no taste to it. He used to come to visit me at least once a week, especially when I was in Kew Garden Hills. He would come to see me, he would come to see the boys. And then when Sorrel was born, he came to see the girl. And I decided, I never told anybody at the time, I decided I'm going to make his life a little bit better. And when I knew he was coming, I went to a special butcher in Kew Gardens that sold Aufschnitt and Leberwurst. German cold cuts and Leberwurst made out of liver, very high in salt, full of everything he wasn't supposed to have. And he would come to my house and I would make him an Aufschnitt sandwich. It came to a point where he began to wait for it. This may have been on a Tuesday. Every Wednesday morning when I called Mama, I had trepidation. I hope I didn't kill him. But I didn't. And he enjoyed it. And I enjoyed watching him enjoy it. The last 18 months he spent in my house. I tried in my own small way to give him back a little bit of the joy that he gave me while I was growing up. He lived with us. We took care of him, but he gave us a sense of love, of payback, of responsibility. I'm so sorry that he suffered in the end. I'm so glad we had a chance, Leslie and I, to alleviate some of his suffering. His neshama should be a melitz yosher for us, for me, my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. And Emet Hashem, we should meet after Mashiach comes.